Okay, so I think we may start. Hello and welcome to this webinar on the agriculture sector in Egypt and the opportunities that arise in the country for Andalusian companies, organized by Andalusia Trade. Andalusia Trade, formerly Extenda, is the agency for the transformation and economic development of Andalusia. It's an agency set up and operated by the regional government of Andalusia in southern Spain and is dedicated to helping companies from the region do business abroad. I will make a short introduction. Egypt is the most populous Arab country with more than 100 million inhabitants. It's the third largest economy in the MENA zone and also in Africa, with a surface that doubles that of Spain. One of the few countries whose GDP has grown during the COVID-19 crisis, and it is expected to continue to do so, around 4% per year in 2023 and 2024, according to the World Bank. It is a safe country where economic activity and business develop normally, but it's also a country in which Spanish companies in general and Andalusian companies in particular are underrepresented in terms of exports, being only the 27th destination of Andalusian exports globally, which seems to be improving in 2023, but still under 1% of global Andalusian exports. To try and change the situation and help Andalusian companies from within the country, Andalusia Trade has set up an antenna, which has begun operation in May this year and is represented here today. I will introduce in a minute our people in Egypt. Agriculture and water are synonymous with life in Egypt. It is a key sector in the country, which, as we will learn, which is gaining efficiency and modernizing, thus offering great opportunity to foreign companies in the agricultural auxiliary industry. Of these opportunities, we will try to learn more with our guests today, which I will briefly introduce to you. We have today David Garay, CEO and co-founder of Indegate, a consulting company with extensive experience helping companies do business internationally and particularly in Africa. Hello, David. Welcome. We also have Hossam Leheta, which is the director of Andalusia Trade Antenna in Egypt. Hi, Hossam. Great to have you here. David and Hossam will give us some insights in the beginning of our webinar today on the agriculture sector in Egypt. And we also have very fortunate to have with us Christine Hanna, which is the sales manager, and Jasmine Dawood, conference producer at Informa Markets, which are the organizers of Sahara Expo, which is the most important show in the sector in the country, taking place in September, and to which Andalusia Trade is organizing a mission. They will kindly share with us the benefits of visiting the trade show, the profiles of exhibiting companies, and they are going to share their knowledge and experience in the field. Before we begin, I would also like to encourage you to post all the questions you may have using the chat that you will find in the right side of your screen, and that our guest speakers will try to answer in the final part of the session. I would also like to thank our guests in Cairo today, Hossam, Yasmin, Christine. Today is a national holiday in Egypt, so it's very fortunate that they make the effort to be with us here today. Without further to introduce, I will give the floor to David. David, you're welcome to take the floor and start our webinar today.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Joaquin, for this impressive introduction. Thank you very much indeed. I don't know if you want me to talk in Spanish or in English, Joaquin?
I think we can use English. Most of the companies will have no trouble with it, and so our guests we can keep it keep it in English.
So anyway, I will be presenting a PowerPoint in Spanish, but of course I will be speaking in English. Okay, so no worries. So as Joaquin mentioned, I mean we are the antenna of Extenda Andalusia Trade now in Egypt. I will do just a brief introduction in the country, but Hosan is the one who knows better the country, of course, and he will be the one giving us the hints and the insights and the in and outs of the agriculture sector right now in Egypt. I mean, Egypt is a crossroads between the East and Africa. It's a crossroads between Asia and Europe through the Suez Canal. So it's a geopolitical strategic location that, of course, it enjoys, and that's why it's a prosperous and thriving economy. The location is key, of course, but also we have to bear in mind that there's a growing population with extensive influence throughout the region. And yes, as Joaquin mentioned before, it's key for Andalusia companies to position themselves in this very important and relevant market. We have development of the economy for many years now and the years to come, with big infrastructure development projects, agriculture projects, etc., that makes Egypt an ideal destination for any investment or any exporter wanting to access key markets globally. The language, of course, is Arabic, but most of the people they speak English in high level in the companies. Most of them they speak English, and otherwise, as we do in many other countries, a translator will do the job. Regarding the business environment, I mean, Egypt is used to deal with foreigners forever, and they're very used to have international companies from Asia, Europe, Africa, Middle East. So it's a very open-minded society where doing business is very easygoing. We have to bear in mind also that the government is giving incentives and subsidies for instance in this sector, in agriculture development, and to access new technologies. Of course, like in every country, bureaucracy and red tape sometimes could be harder, but thanks to our local director Hosan, we will try to make it easier in the next future when it's needed. Okay. One of the constraints that we are facing lately is the payments in foreign currencies. That also we have some ways to overcome this situation, is selecting the right companies basically that are going to be buying your products. And then these are some of the examples of Spanish companies successfully operating in Egypt, but there are some others. But of course, we would like this webinar and our antenna in Egypt to serve as a bridge between Andalusian companies and Egypt in the next future. Regarding the key sectors of the economy, as a diversified economy, we have tourism. It's a big sector in Egypt, as you all know. But we have, of course, infrastructure development, we have industry, we have agriculture, as we will see now. We have renewable energies, we have oil and gas. So as you may imagine, you have opportunities in all and every sector of the economy. But talking about agriculture, I would like to pass the floor to our director in Cairo, to Hosan Leheta, who knows extensively the in and outs and the aspects to bear in mind, and facts and figures about the agro industry in Egypt. So please, Hosan, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you, David. Yeah, I think it's very important to mention that agriculture is a very important part of the Egyptian economy and is one of the very old industries in Egypt. So Egypt is predominantly an agricultural country. Now Egypt also has energy and other supporting products, but agriculture and tourism are amongst the cornerstones of the Egyptian economy. And also even with certain areas that require government support, agriculture is always seen as a strategic industry and also a matter of national security. So even with the availing foreign currency, the financial transactions, the logistics and procedures, it always comes at the top. It always gets priority. It always gets the support because it is a source of export and is what feeds the local population and generates money for export. Having said that, Egypt has vast arable land and a lot of agricultural land differing in nature. A lot of this land is close to the sea coasts, the Mediterranean and the Red Sea, where the water is a little saline. As you move south, the weather is rougher and hotter. And as you move towards the north coast, the weather is closer to European weather with more humidity, less dryness. And also around the River Nile, there is sweet water. So in Egypt, there are the citrus fruits, there is the olives, the grapes, the wheat. And now a lot of the production is also on aquaponics, hydroponics, organic, fertilizer-free. And we see day by day a lot of the international market players providing products, services, machinery, expertise, know-how. And we see it, we were discussing with a lot of the German companies, they send the experts to stay on the land and they are off-takers and they take the produce and export to the European markets. So export is a very important factor. Also the proximity of Egypt to the Gulf countries and other countries in the MENA region, which opens the export via land, makes this a very strategic industry, especially with a lot of the Gulf countries, smaller in terms of footprint and size, and also very harsh, hotter climates. So a lot of the agricultural products come from Egypt. Having also touched on natural resources, there is a lot of awareness on the value and maybe potential scarcity of water supplies. So a lot of the water treatment facilities, desalination, irrigation, water transportation and storage. So this is also a complementary industry that is in quite high demand. The food processing industry is now also, as the agricultural land and the farmers start moving up the value chain. So now there is a lot of interest in not only the farming, it's also the grading, the packing, the selection, the treatment, washing, amongst other services, so as to go up the value chain. This is also important with the import and availing of modern equipment, technology, software, amongst others. So this is also looking along the increase in efficiency, in production capacity, in specifications that would make the product also attractive for the international markets. There has also been the rise of the specialty agricultural producers, which is, as we mentioned, the organic farming, the vertical farms, the hydroponic, along with the different sustainable business practices, test equipment, laboratories, amongst others. Of course, this is moving into vast specializations, but a lot of information can be provided on the different requirements by the farmers, the government regulations, the import-export regulations, amongst others. and of course, open for questions on any of these topics.
I have a question, Hosan. I have a question. If I were an Andalusia company wanting to enter the Egyptian market, how is the distribution channel? There are importer distributors of this kind of new technologies applies for agriculture, or these new products that we can use to increase productivity in agriculture, or we deal directly with the local growers?
Yeah, that's a very good question. There is a lot of opportunity for the Andalusian companies. A lot of these opportunities could be direct with the large agricultural companies, because now there are large conglomerates and they are aware of the products and aware of the technologies and will be looking to engage directly and import products and supplies. Of course, we always recommend international companies to deal with local agents for language barriers, for facilitation of government requirements. But I think also the local agent is going to be very important in targeting the smaller farmers and the smaller facilities, because these will be the traditional farmers that have inherited the job and the land generation by generation. They will not speak foreign languages and may have very limited access to even technology and computers, and they would be very comfortable dealing with through a distributor or a local agent that can support with that. But also, very importantly, the government provides a lot of support to farmers and growers. They will provide financing facilities. There is the Agricultural Development Bank, which is a bank that deals exclusively with growers and players in the agricultural industry. And there are a lot of international grants by the World Bank, by the EU, that go towards these industries. So a lot of these growers and facility owners will be able to get facilities through these organizations and will look to deal with European companies. And this is an area that makes European companies more attractive than maybe the Far East or Southeast Asian companies. And there has been a lot of interaction, and I will leave the floor to Yasmin and Christine because they will know more about that, with the Spanish, Italian, Greek, and French companies. The Mediterranean nations are very close to the hearts of the Egyptians, very similar in the diets, and I think there is already a lot of cooperation between Egyptian companies, growers, and farmers, and these countries in specific. Also, there is Spanish is, I mean, I don't want to say widely spoken, but Spanish maybe after English and French, maybe Spanish is the third most spoken international language, and Egyptians will like the Spanish a lot because a lot of them will go on vacation in Spain, will have similar diets, and most of Egyptians are either Barcelona or Real Madrid fans. So that's always going to be the icebreaker in Egypt.
Thank you,
So
Hosan.
now we pass the floor to Yasmin and Christine from Sahara, the organizer of the trade show in Cairo in September.
Yeah, I'm gonna share my presentation. And thank you so much for the introduction.
Welcome.
Okay, here it is. So I want to give you an introduction about Informa Markets at first. Informa Markets is the organizer for Sahara and for other 550 exhibitions worldwide yearly. And when it comes to the agriculture portfolio, let me show you this graph. We do have 3 agriculture shows in USA. One of the very important agri shows is GrowTech. It's in Turkey, Egypt, Sahara, of course. That's why we're meeting today. And in Brazil, we have Agri Show. It's a very, very big and important show as well. And in Taiwan, Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, and UAE. So when it comes to the agriculture industry, we consider ourselves like the leaders in the agriculture shows around the world. And the agriculture industry, of course, I don't want to like Hossein give us a very, very nice introduction about the agriculture industry in Egypt. So I won't top that. But like he said, agriculture here is above as an industry. It's a very important industry, and it has yeah, almost 30% of employment comes from agriculture. So food and agriculture here in Egypt, it's a very, very, very big sector, and it's a very important sector. And Sahara overview. Okay, so Sahara is the commercial heart and crop production in Egypt. Of course, I don't know if you know, but this is our 35th edition for Sahara. So it's the biggest show of agriculture in the MENA region, not only in Egypt. It's also a 50-50 split. We do have 50% of our exhibitors and international exhibitors, and the 50 others are local exhibitors. So Sahara, it's considered as an international and a very big show here in Egypt. And let me tell you like a bit of what happened last year at Sahara. So we had 200 exhibitors, we had 20,000 visitors, and 2.5 million social engagement. We had 420 brands, and with an increase in international participation, which actually happened this year. Pre-arranged meetings, and let me tell you about it later on, but we had 212 pre-arranged meetings. This is something we do as a feature. We, in the business matching making area, we arrange meetings for our exhibitors. So this is a very important and it's a very growing feature that we have. And of course, we have the conference and the consultancy. I'll tell you about it in the next slide. But we had 3,000 attendees, which is a huge rate. Okay, so our features. We have the matchmaking program. Like I said, this is the pre-arranged meetings. We offer this feature to our exhibitors. So it's growing. It's a very important feature for business deals, for making right decisions, for growing your business, for getting to know what's going on in the agriculture industry. So this is a very important feature we have. The consultancy area. Okay, so when it comes to an educational feature, we have two features, the conference and the consultancy area. The conference, it's a 3-day conference. We talk about certain tracks. Like Hassam said, the vertical farming is very growing nowadays. That's why we have it as a track in our conference. So the conference, we have tracks like climate change, water management, vertical farming, of course, sustainability. So that's about the conference. For the consultancy area, it's an educational feature, but it's more like specialized. Like we have consultants very specialized in certain matter in agriculture, and people are more they have more space to ask, and it's more in they sit in a circle and they start asking their questions, so it's more like the conference, but more interaction. And the hosted buyers program, actually this year we're aiming to host 50 buyers. The hosted buyer program is mainly hosting decision makers from all over the world to come see what our exhibitors has to offer, make business deals. So this is also a very important feature for our exhibitors. Okay, so Sahara, it not only enables you, like in all our shows, not only Sahara, we don't only focus on our exhibitors to exhibit. No, we focus on the other features we can offer them. So, of course, Sahara, it helps you expand your business and enter new markets, but it also helps you connect with new suppliers and acquire the best technologies, stay updated on global developments and trends, meet the key stakeholders in the Egyptian market. And of course, we do have like a lot of governmental entities, get the supplies and the best technologies, connect with the market leaders. So mainly it's like a platform for connecting all everyone in the supply chain of agriculture. And that's what will take you to the other slide. Yeah, so that's what I was talking about. We have a full coverage of supply chain, from the fertilizers and crop production to the services to the post-harvest. So these are the sectors. We have 8 dedicated sectors. Our exhibitors are in these sectors, and our visitors as well. It starts with the fertilizers and crop protection, seeds and nurseries, agriculture machinery, sustainable agriculture, greenhouses, water management, post-harvest, and services. So we mainly cover all the supply chain. The visitors. Like I said, Sahara is a 50-50 split. So we have around to 20,000, actually more than 20,000 visitors from across the region. These are the most or the top visiting countries: Algeria, Jordan, Libya, KSA, Ghana, and other African countries. A very interesting fact this year that we have actually a very good number of international pavilions at Sahara: Germany, Poland, China, Spain, and Pakistan. So let me tell you this, like China, they have like almost 450 meters, or they have 450 meters, which makes almost 45 companies exhibiting at Sahara this year, which is a great number. And Spain as well, they're having 120 meters, which makes around 10 to 12 companies. So this is great as well. And the countries exhibiting, of course, it's a very good list, as you can see. Canada, Italy, India, KSA, UAE, UK, Greece, Turkey, Thailand, Ghana, Kuwait, Malaysia, Armenia, and Indonesia. That's it. And if you have any questions, you can, Christine will be more than happy to answer your questions right now. And if you want to email us later, here are our emails as well.
Thank you, Yasmin. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so Yasmin covered all the points and all details about Sahara. And I will be more than happy if you would like to ask any question about Sahara.
Very much, Yasmin and Christine, for your presentation, for being available. It's really a very interesting show. As we said in the beginning, Andalusia Trade is organizing a trade mission. Our public call for participation is open now, and it's going to be open until this coming week. So there's still time for any of you present here today to participate. And I don't know if you have any questions. Please use the chat, or so that we can pose the question to our guests today. And I don't know if you can comment, David and Hossam, a little bit more on how the transmission will go to Sahara Expo. I will start by saying that Andalusia is going to have an institutional booth, and we are going to work on having agendas for all the participating companies. We will take advantage of the matching service, the matching feature of the Sahara Expo event, so that you can have interviews with companies, with Egyptian and other foreign companies in advance, and we'll also work on inviting companies to the trade show and making sure that when you visit the show, you take advantage and you have as many interviews and as many matchmakings and contacts with most of the companies.
So, Joaquin, you mean that all the companies joining the trade mission, they will have access to the stand of Extenda in Sahara Trade Show, right?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, perfect. And they could be receiving visits in this stand, the different Andalusia companies.
That's right. The booth will be small. They will not be able to exhibit merchandise or products, but they can feature their catalogs or something that is not very bulky, for reasons of space. But they will definitely be able to use our stand in order to have their meetings there.
Yeah, I'm sure Jasmine and Christine, they will give us a nice booth and with nice chairs and tables.
Yeah, sure. It's a pleasure.
I would like to ask
yes.
you, Christine, for this matchmaking, do you have a dedicated area in which companies meet?
Yes, we have a specific area. It's matchmaking area, and it's like well organized and equipped with all tables and chairs, couches for facilitating the meetings. And by the way, we have a specific and professional company just dedicated to arrange those meetings and before the exhibition. Okay, to be more organized with the specific time across the 3 days of the exhibition. And this feature, by the way, is only for the exhibitors. So it's somehow like a prestigious feature for our exhibitors to let them like fulfill all their needs during the 3 days of the show, to meet whoever they would like to meet from the exhibitors, if we have entities, organizations, associations, whatever. So it would be arranged before the exhibition days directly through this company. So don't worry about this. And we have the conference, as Yasmin said, we have last year we had a VIP lounge, but this year I don't know what about this till now. However, don't worry about it. We have the space, we have the area, we have everything that we can welcome your exhibitors in a good way and a prestigious one.
We have Gabriel is asking the dates of the trade show. It's going to be from 10th to 12th September. So it's
yes.
It's going to be in September in Cairo, in
Cairo, 10, 11, 12 of September. From it starts from 10 a.m. till 7 p.m. daily.
Okay. Great.
Okay. I can see in the chat that there is Ahmed from Novasis is asking about one company that is interested in registering their products. He's wondering, because I think it's a kind of fertilizer that they want to register through this local partner in Egypt, and he's asking if there is any way we can check out the financial status and position in the country of this company so that they are reliable, I guess, no? Ahmad, are you planning to join the trade mission so that you can be in Egypt to meet them personally? That would be the best way to check out if they are the right ones. And Hossam, is there any way to check out before they come if they are reliable, or if they are an existing company, and if they should continue discussion with them or not?
Yes, for sure. I think if you would like to share the company name, address, and if you know who the owners are, we will definitely get back to you on that. In Egypt, we always joke we're over 100 million, but we all know each other. So I think if you do that, we will be able to share some background information on the company. And if also you share the information on the type of fertilizer and the technical data sheets, we can get feedback on the requirements to have this product registered, or if there are any restrictions on that with that regard. And always, of course, nothing beats a face-to-face meeting, but we can definitely do the initial screening and then give you some very solid initial feedback, and then maybe a face-to-face meeting or a meeting in their facilities will also confirm whatever we discuss ahead of time.
Yeah. I mean, of course, for any company attending now this webinar, of course, attending the trade mission will be a very interesting opportunity, not only to meet with some local companies interested in your products, but also to do a little tour throughout the trade show and meet the main players of the sector, as Jasmine mentioned, through all the different subsectors of agriculture in Egypt. So I think it's super interesting for any of you. And you can benefit from extend the Andalusia trade opportunity, giving you to have access to this stand at the trade show.
I would like to add that we also have a service. We are subscribed to Dun & Bradstreet, which is a big provider of information in companies operating in other countries. And if you're definitely interested in checking the financial health of a company, you can send me to my personal email the name of the company, and we will check it for you. I will send the information that we find.
Okay, that's also good. Hossam, Javier Alvarez from Econatur is asking you if I mean, you mentioned before that there is also the possibility to deal directly with local farmers, but this should be the second option, I guess. He's dealing with fertilizers. Are they subject to registration in Egypt before engaging in direct deals with the big farmers?
Yeah. Yes, everything is subject to registration. I think what is going to be important for every company is to decide whether they will sell directly to the end customer, or whether they will go through an agent. If the company will sell directly, then we can assist with the registration of the product. And once it's registered, they will be able to sell directly. If they identify the end customer, then they will engage directly with them. If they intend to sell through an agent, then we can recommend one or two potential agents, distributors, or company representatives, and then they will be able to assist with the registration process. Again, that's why I was saying once we get the technical data sheets or the specifications, again, we can also confirm what the requirements are for the registration and what lead times we are talking about. I also see another question about the foreign currency. We already can see that there is the availing of foreign currency and transactions in foreign currency is starting. So this is not a problem. And also historically, as I mentioned, the agricultural industry is at the top of the priority list. So there shouldn't be any issues with that. So I don't think that would be a showstopper. That tends to be at certain times, and I think that's slowly going away. It tends to be with certain ancillary industries, but not with key industries such as agriculture, such as medical, pharmaceutical, healthcare, energy. These are critical industries that are generally given the priority when there is a shortage, but we believe that this is about to ease the next period of time.
Okay, and then there is one question about, I mean, Pelayo Fernandez. Yes, of course, joining the mission with Extenda, we'll have the opportunity to participate in the matching. We will be getting you a meeting schedule during the 3 days in the trade show. Okay. All right. So, any other questions?
We have a questions. One of the companies is already registered for the mission for the trade show, and is asking for the travel dates. Yes, Juan, you may already be reserving your trip. Make sure that you travel so that you arrive on Saturday, so that you are ready to begin on Sunday. No, the trade show is starting on Sunday, so you should be arriving in Egypt on Saturday, and as in every trade mission, the hotel rooms will be covered by Extenda for one person per company. But it's safe for you already to book your trip, arriving no later than Saturday, so that you may be ready for Sunday, and traveling after the 12th. So Extenda will be covering you hotel checking out on the 13th, so that you can take advantage of and visit the show on the 3 days that it will last.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, we have Javier Alvarez is saying that payments in euros, they keep on facing problems. Operation to Egypt are being delayed at the moment. Yes, I mean, as Hossam mentioned before, I mean, we are seeing a little by little getting better in that sense. And it's also very important to select the right local partners or local clients, because some of the companies in Egypt, they have offices or companies abroad in Dubai or in Turkey, and they can facilitate the payments to their suppliers through these international companies. So it's also very interesting to think about picking the right local partners. Okay, this is also another option.
Yeah, that's exactly right, because it again also depends on the end customer or the organization. So everything that is supported by European fund goes immediately and very quickly. Most things that are directly with the government program, again, are expedited. With the large companies, the large companies have their import-export balance, so tend to be able to mitigate these issues. It is the issue with the SMEs, and that is what is slowly being resolved.
He's saying that the problem is not with the client, but with the Egyptian bank that don't provide the foreign currency.
It's the central bank. It's not actually the Egyptian bank. It is once you apply, it goes to the central bank for approval. And then the central bank has like a priority list. So they start approving the top priority, and then they start going down to the lower priorities. So that's how it is. But there has been a lot of good news this past week. So we are very optimistic that this problem is going to just go away over the next few weeks.
Well, I guess, to be honest, this is just a personal thought. But I think after the summertime, where millions of tourists are coming in, billions of US dollars are going to stay in the country. So the situation will improve dramatically after the summer, definitely.
Exactly.
Okay. Inshallah. Exactly, Javier. Inshallah.
I have a question for you, Christine and Jasmine. The consultancy area, which is sounds like a very interesting part of the show, is it open, still open for some of the companies that are traveling with us are very specialized. They know they have a very great know-how. Could they participate providing these consultancy services? Is that part still open, or you have already all the consultants providing the service booked? Is it something?
Well, I would rather advise you they can actually be a part of the conference. Why? Because at the conference, we're going to have a translation booth. But in the consultancy area, I don't think there will be translation booth. Let me check this for you. So that would be the issue.
Oh, okay, because the
Yeah.
consultancy
And they're
is
more like farmers. The attendees in the
Yeah.
consultancy area are more like farmers
Local.
and
Yeah.
yes, exactly. Unlike the conference. So this is something and this is something else. This serves a target audience and this is another target audience.
I see. So the consultancy will be in Arabic, basically, no?
I
Right.
prefer the conference. If
Okay.
you have a recommendation for a conference speaker, please send me.
Okay. Great. Thank
All
you.
right.
And we can always arrange for translators. That won't be hard to come by.
Sure. We
Yeah,
can
yeah,
facilitate, by the way.
yeah.
Yeah.
We do have a translation booth at the conference.
No,
So
and we as Informa, we can facilitate getting translators to your booth if you would like to do so to deal with the Egyptians. So just ask for this before the exhibition directly, and we can connect you with a very professional company. They have very professional translators, so we can facilitate this before the exhibition date. Yeah. Okay. Any other question? Do we have any questions?
I would like to ask you about we know that the army, it takes a very important part in the business sector in Egypt. Are they going to be exhibiting also? Or are they going to be? Can you talk us a little bit more about the official Egyptian ministries and institutions that will be exhibiting and will be participating in the show?
Yeah, by the way, the exhibition is supported by the Ministry of Agriculture. Okay. And in Egypt, our president here in Egypt is caring about the agricultural sector. So we have, along with the governmental entities or associations, we have a very reputation projects as well. So when it comes to the projects for small farmers, medium companies, and if they have like new zones for agriculture, so along with the governmental entities, we have like new projects coming over. So in this case, the people who are taking care of those projects with the government, they are attending, they are participating. They have booths in our exhibition venue, and some of them, they have talks in the conference. And yes, we have many governmental entities that are participating as exhibitors, and we have some consultants coming from the governmental associations as well. So because, as Yasmin mentioned before, Sahara is happening for 35 years. Okay, it's the biggest show in Egypt, and not only Egypt, it's in the Middle East region and the Africa region as well. And the Sahara welcomes.
It's quite impressive, 35 years. So it's
Yeah, 30. This is the 35th edition. Okay, And it's the only agricultural exhibition that welcomes international companies. Okay, we have a lot of agricultural exhibitions here in Egypt, but Sahara is the biggest one. It's the international one, and it's supported by the governmental entities and the Ministry of Agriculture as well. So yes, we have booth for those sectors. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Okay. So
Paloma Hidalgo was asking about the presentation. I don't think there's a problem, Yasmin, in sharing your presentation with the attending companies.
Yeah, sure. And we also have the brochure. I don't know if Christine, yeah, you sent
I
it.
can share with you.
Yeah, the brochure. I think let's share the brochure, and if anyone needs more information, of course, yeah.
Sure.
Wonderful.
I will share with you the brochure. It includes all the details about Sahara and all sectors, visitors profiles as well. And I will share the link for the website if they would like to know more about what about the feedback of our exhibitors last year and visitors. And also it includes facilitations for travel, how to register as visitor, if recommendations for hotels and travel opportunities. So I will share with you after the webinar. I will send you the email.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I think that will cover everything. So yeah.
Yeah.
Great, and I will share it with every attending company today. We will also share the whole video. We as we usually do, we post it on
Sure.
Extenda TV website for everyone to check and to come back later.
Great.
I don't know if we have any other questions for all the attending companies, something that needs to be clarified. We still have like 3 or 4 minutes more.
I think, Joaquin, if every company, the attending companies, if they before they travel, if they can send us a brief about what they're looking for, who are they looking to meet, partners, distributors, customers, government agencies, private sector, experts, consultants, that sort of thing. Maybe we can also, on top of the general flow at the exhibition, arrange for specific meetings. And then we will also be able to decide, depending, I mean, company by company, if they will have these specially requested meetings at the exhibition, or there will be certain things where they will need to, maybe they will need transportation to go to a certain production facility, to go to certain farmland, because Egypt is quite vast and certain areas might be a few hours away for transportation. But then again, it will differ according to the different requirements of every visiting company.
Okay, great. Hossam, thank you for your clarification. That's great. We will also
Just-
have, yeah, no, go ahead.
I'm
Please.
sorry. Okay. I just need to add that Extenda, if you are just registering for a number of companies, each company will be allocated in a separate booth with their name on the fascia and their name on our website separately out of Extenda. So I mean, they will have the opportunity to be on our campaigns, on our website, and they will have their own specific booth to be approached through the visitors or other exhibitors separately, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We'll also be, as you know, we have, now that we have an antenna, we also planning to have a separate trade mission. We were talking about it last week, David. Perhaps in November, we'll issue a public call soon, and we'll set the dates for you. But we are planning to have another trade mission, in which you will have more opportunity to visit companies in their facilities and to see farmland like a like Hossam was pointing out. So you can count on Extenda Andalusia Trade, and our antenna in Egypt to help you with every need that you have in the market and try to support you there when you travel. I think that we have covered the whole hour, the specified time. I think it was very interesting, and so I really believe so. I would like to thank our guests today for their insights, for their participation, given also that there's a national holiday in Egypt. I would like to thank everybody, of course, with us here today. Thank you for your interest in everything that we do. And like I say, we are at your service. Any question that you may have, you can send it to me directly by email, or you can call me, and I will try to post it to our guests in case there's something that needs to be answered by them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And looking forward to seeing you and meeting you in person in Egypt in September.
Looking forward to.
Thank you.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
Have a great long weekend, guys. There in Egypt.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
Enjoy your holiday.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take care.
absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Joaquin. Bye bye.
Thanks a lot.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.